What does that tell you? Jesus Christ. Where is the time going? It's already March the 6th. It's crazy. But it was a great weekend. It was a great week last week. I'm feeling good. Everybody's doing good. Congratulations to John Jones last night. You know, I made a video on Saturday for you guys. I talk a lot of shit, you know, and I always push DraftKings and whatnot. I love DraftKings. It's been I didn't mess around with sports for the whole time I was doing comedy. I was so focused in on it. And now, you know, I enjoy, like, the little fucking things I got left. I enjoy just to watch a game from time to time. It's not like I watch sports all the time. But at night, sometimes, you know, the game started at 7:30. My house don't get going till 9. Sometimes I watch the first quarter of a game. Then I do something. I try to write jokes for Lee. I try to write in my journal, you know, shit like that. Jokes for Lee. Nah, that's my little I'm always writing jokes for Lee. Listen, I can't write in my voice no more because I don't even know what the fuck my voice is anymore. So I ghostwrite for Lee, you know, and that's it. And I push him. Like last night I gave him a joke. He was in Orlando Saturday night. So all week I was thinking about a joke for Lee. And I'm like, what can I do for Lee for Saturday night? Because Lee's at a point right now in his comedy career. He's been doing comedy, let's say, 4 years. So what I try to do is I try to, you know, give him the easy jokes. But then I'm trying to write jokes for him that I wrote for myself at the 4-year mark, and I wasn't ready to say. And people are like, Joey, what the fuck are you talking about? Sometimes you write a joke that's so strong that you're at a level that you're not prepared to deliver it. And you'll deliver it, and you'll say it 50 times, you'll giggle, but nobody else gives a fuck about your stupid joke, and you'll throw it away. But in time, you'll realize that joke was maybe written a little too strong for where you are talent-wise. And it happens all the fucking time. So I wanted to test him this week. So I go, you know what? Let me give him like a fucking racy joke. He's in Orlando. There's a joke I've been working for like 3 years that I don't have the balls to say. And it came and it went, so it was an old joke. But you could still use it in a late form, and it was when the gay guy in the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, he shot all those gay people, like 90 people. So one day I was sitting and I'm like, man, if he shot all those people, there's got to be some gay ghosts around. People who got stuck on the fucking frontier, who didn't make it all the way to heaven or hell or wherever the fuck their mission was to be going. I go, so that means when you go to Orlando, there's got to be gay ghosts. Wouldn't that be funny if you're in your room at Disneyland, all of a sudden you hear like, boo, you know, you're like, what the fuck? And it's those gay ghosts that got shot. So it's not a great joke, and I haven't set it up yet. But last night I called Lee, Saturday night I called Lee, and I'm like, hey, bro, fucking, this is a good joke for you to try. We were dying of laughter on the phone. I don't know what the final conclusion was, what joke he was going to try. You know, I told him, if you try this joke, they'll definitely not have you back, which is always a good sign. Sometimes it's a great sign when a club doesn't want to have you back. You don't know that at the time, but sometimes it's just a dingy bar or some club where the owner's fucking thinks he's fucking Mitzi Shore and he's not. So that's part of sometimes at night I just write a fucking joke for Lee. I'll think of something, you know, and I'll open up his mind with it. Because sometimes it's not a joke that you could use, but sometimes it's the choice of opening your mind, you know. I subscribe to a betting newspaper. It cost me dollars on the cents, just so I could read about sports, because I haven't really caught up to it. Do you think I use their picks? Not at all. They send me picks every night. I don't gamble every night. Do you think I use their picks? No. You know why I read their picks? So it opens up my mind. Sometimes they'll just say, listen, look at this guy. He scored 30 points in 4 games. Maybe tonight he's going to go under 30. I'll think about it. Sometimes it's just opening your mind. You can't tell that joke. It's funny because last week I told what had happened, what the anxiety that drove me to, you know, just everything that was going on for the podcast. But one of the things that I also want to address is something that somebody else said to me recently. And they said that about 2 years ago, before the pandemic, they reached out to me for a spot at a comedy show, and I told them no, and they thought that I was a liar, that I don't help other comics. And I was reading the thing, because I had heard that before, that people were mad at me, young comics were mad at me, like when I say, pick up the phone and call people. And then I'd use a story when somebody called me, and I didn't know how to really break that down for people. And it's all broken down by the intention. The intention, okay? When I was a young comic, like Lee, 4 or 5 years, yes, I was impressionable. I was impressed by comics like, Carlos Mencia, Doug Stanhope, Wendy Liebman, Jackie Flynn. There was a complete different stock of stand-up comics that were on the working circuit then. Rocky LaPorte, Andrew Dice Clay was just finishing up a huge fucking massive arena tour. Roseanne was blowing up. All these people were blowing up. We didn't have the camera. We didn't have a lot of things. We didn't have the phone with the video in it. We didn't have a lot of those things. So it was hard work based. Whatever you're going to do, it's always hard work based. Whether you're going to be a fucking piano player, whatever the fuck. When a comic would come to town, like Felicia Michaels did in '94, I got a guest set to Felicia Michaels. And afterward, I went up on stage during the guest set. I bombed, whatever, but I didn't go down there for Felicia to save my life. Are you with me here? I didn't go down there for somebody to save my life. I always knew that nobody could save my life. I knew that if I believed, I didn't know this, I believed that if I put hard work in, that I would get better at something. If I put hard work into anything, I believe I'm going to get better on it, right? So the first big comic I met that wasn't big at the time, but he was big, was Doug Stanhope. He was big to me. He was doing a lot better than I was. I was an MC and he was a feature. In my world, he didn't need to be on TV. He was doing a lot better than me. When I met Doug, I didn't know that comics took other comics on the road. I didn't know any of that stuff. I was ripe. I was just impressed with Doug and his skills. When we finished the show, Doug was talking about if I knew a hotel in the area to stay in, and I'm like, yeah, but listen, I don't know what you're getting paid here tonight, but it's probably not a lot. Why don't you stay at my house? When I offered that to Doug, I didn't offer that to Doug for him to change my life. I offered it to Doug as a fucking, just being a good guy.